Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial with Zenphi. If you would like to automate the process of responding to emails without creating messy threads every single time you respond to an email, this tutorial is for you. Today we're going to be going over the scenario where a customer requests customer support via email and we'll be able to make sure that the whole conversation to that email stays in the same thread. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first step to this tutorial is going to be to set up our trigger. We're going to be using the Gmail trigger, so it's going to start the flow when an email arrives into your inbox. Simply click on the plus icon to create a new connection. It's going to ask you if it should be private or shared. After you click on authorize, you'll be able to find it in the drop-down menu here. Now, to be able to take the trigger one step further, I would recommend to enable conditional run, so you can really customize the clauses to make sure it only runs when you want it to. Now for our first step, what I'm doing is creating a ticket number. So what this is going to do is generate a WID. You can choose the format if needed. Now as the next step, I'm going to use AI to be able to categorize and respond to the client. So what AI is going to do is decide if it's a low priority, medium priority, or high priority issue. We're going to be using our generate text with Gemini action. Now down at the bottom in the prompt, I'm giving it the original text body email as well as the sender. That way you can create a custom email. Feel free to customize your system instructions and the prompt as well. You can add examples, and I'm making sure to enable the output as JSON. Here is an example I have added as well, just to make sure it pulls exactly what I want it to. We want to make sure we parse that information, so for that I'm using convert JSON to object. That way I can easily get the body and the category. Now to be able to get the information from the email, I'm using parse email address to be able to parse the sender email, the person who sent the email initially. And if we use this action, we're going to be able to use their display name, their email address, email domain. So if you want to enter that information into the email or maybe into a Zenphi table, you can do that as well. Now for this example, I have created a Zenphi table where we're going to be adding everything. So I'm going to use the create record action. Simply select the table from here and then choose which fields you want to update. So to do that in submitted by, I'm going to get the email address from the email parser. We can choose when it was submitted on, the date that comes from the email trigger. So just make sure you match up everything to wherever it belongs. And this is what the table would look like. Now we're going to go ahead and respond to the customer. So to do this, we're going to use the send email action. Again, set up your connection to Gmail. If you've already done so, you can choose from the drop-down. Then we're going to choose who's going to be receiving the email. So in this case, I'll get their email from the email parser. The subject, I'm going to use their same subject, just adding RE. And then I'm going to use the response body that we parsed from Gemini. Now to make sure that we keep everything in the same thread, we have to make sure we enable this option. Here in thread ID, we're going to click on the token picker and then add the thread ID. In reply to message ID, we're going to add the message ID here. And in reply to references, we have to enable these two options here. So make sure you add all of those tokens to make sure it stays in the same thread. Now, if AI considers it's a high priority issue, I obviously want this to be taken into account quicker. So what I'm going to do is add an if condition. So when the category is equal to high, meaning it's high priority, I want to send a Google Chat message. That way the developers see it right away. So in this case, I'm using the post message action for Google Chat. Again, set up your connection. You can choose if you want to send it to a space. Maybe you have a space for a specific team. That way multiple people can see it. Maybe you want to send it just to a specific person. So you can choose depending on what you're looking for, and then you can add the information. So if you want to add anything else here, or just by adding the ticket number, they'll be able to refer to the table easily. Now let's go ahead and do an example. We'll go ahead and save. Select an email, click start. Now if I go to my inbox to check the AI generated email, as you can see, it has added it to the thread of the same email that was sent. That way everything stays here. If we go to our Zenphi table and we refresh, we can see that it added the record as well. And since the support ticket was classified as high priority, it has also sent the Google Chat message. As you can see, it says Zenphi here. This will appear whenever you send a Google Chat message through Zenphi, so keep that in mind. And that would be everything. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments section. I'm sure this is going to be able to help make sure that all conversations stay organized and in the same thread to be able to make sure everyone is in the loop at all times. Thank you so much for watching.